No, this is not it. I'm ready to go on. I'm ready to go on YouTube. I'm ready to go on Facebook. I'm not ready to go on Instagram. Let's try to fix Instagram. Up, edit, streaming key. Maybe you like this one better. Boom. Let's connect. Twitter. Hey, there's no more Twitter live stream, and I just killed the live stream because I had to authenticate, and if you switch app, well, you killed your stream. So let's restart. Propaganda exposed. Yes, I will tell you all about what I know and what also I think, my opinion about, so facts and opinion about what Google is doing to control us. Welcome. Twitter is on, working. Facebook is working. Hello Laurent, the show must go on, Nageur Pro. What don't we have working here? Okay, let's see. Oh, Twitch is working. And the live is not working. Okay? The live. Did I turn you on, at least? I did not turn you on. So, edit. Cancel. No. D-Live. Okay. Well, why am I streaming on D-Live? There's nobody. So, first of all, decision is I won't be live streaming in French. Well, why am I streaming? Whoa. I won't be live streaming in French anymore for a while. You will see recorded podcasts in French, like I've been doing for over 12 years. I highly recommend to check, if you understand French, my latest podcast with Sylvain Perronnet, PhD in algorithms, very knowledgeable about search engines. And we do a yearly, and sometimes several times a year, podcast about what's up in search. I feel weird because I don't look at you guys on Twitter, all three of you. Okay, maybe I should retweet on my main account because that might bring a couple more people. What do you think? That's the way you were supposed to do, huh? Okay. Bear with me. We are starting in 2 minutes, going into the meat of things. Google propaganda exposed. I shared earlier, it's in French. I shared earlier a post from 2012 where I already exposed the problem. Already in 2012, I spoke about how Google manipulates the information, the message, and how Google is able to basically, the state of SEO today, the way the industry is divided into the people who believe in this fantasy of build a great website and the rest will follow. And at the opposite end of the spectrum, you have the people who the pure black hat spam with no ethics and can even go into hacking and robbing you. So in between this fantasy land of be awesome, be the best of what you can be, and the dirt of black hat SEO, is it really that clear cut? I know that today we live in a world where everything is black or white. There's no nuance, no more shades of gray. We have to live with this. We have to, I guess, deal with it, until the needle will move back a little bit into the middle. Well, it's black and white. And to start off, I will apologize. I need to present my apologies. I don't even know if Lily Ray will listen to this. If you know her, and please point out to this recording, to this replay, to web machine. My voice is so much better in French. Well, hey, Mr. Sid, bonne année. Yes, my voice is much better in French. I did a change in the microphone setup, so that might be why the voice you prefer it in French. Ou alors, je peux parler français et tu me dis vraiment s'il y a tant de différence. I don't make many mistakes. If you follow me, you know that I'm always right. But what I did yesterday, my intent was not mean. I didn't want to be like negative about it, but the way I expressed it and the tweet was most definitely outrageous, and I deleted it. No problem with that. But the message behind the tweet, I stand by it. Let me explain. So, Lily is a upcoming superstar in the SEO industry in America. She's not an upcoming. She's a superstar in the SEO industry. And she is specialized. She's most known for the whole like EAT thing, expertise, trust, and authority, or expertise, authority, and trust. EAT, those medical words that appeared in the Google Quality Guidelines, I believe, 2 years ago, to 2018 maybe. And what I said, or what she wrote, was something along the lines of, well, actually, why don't we go see the tweet? Let me just find it. Right, if she didn't block me. Can't find her. Oh, here you go. Find her. Lily, why? Not with that. Here you go. And she said, okay, this is going to be controversial. This will probably bring some hate. But then, yes, we got loads of replies. And my reply was totally wrong. So I need to apologize for this, but I need to find her tweet first. Basically, what she said is, okay, probably a conversation. Let me share the screen. Let me share the screen with you. Video capture, black magic, boom. I need to do that before going live. Here, so check my stuff in between. Your screen capture, and it will be. If you don't know about Brave, I highly recommend Brave as a browser. It's love the UX. It's cool. It's privacy respectful, and you're doing the right thing when you use a browser like Brave, because you can even, if you wish, you can pay directly the content creators. Okay, let me switch here. Okay, like do. Boom. Here you go. Sorry about this. Okay. So, probably a controversial opinion, but I think the debate over what is not a confirmed Google SEO ranking factor is getting old. Google clearly doesn't publicly confirm most of its ranking factors. IMO, in my opinion, if it's good for users, you should treat it like a ranking factor. The problem with that statement and my answer is that it's a little bit more complicated than just a couple of tweets. What she's saying is not 100% wrong, meaning Google wants to satisfy users. You satisfy users. Ultimately, Google would like you. That's the simple theory. Now, if we dig a little bit deeper into the facts, well, it's not as simple. First of all, on the technical side, sorry to say, but it's a mess. The website's a mess. And I'm not even talking about trying to optimize for the new technology, okay? Because this whole technical SEO discussion is still based on what is called SEO 2010, meaning doing text to optimize for Google, the computer version. The text, you will host it on web pages, and you will rank websites on Google, the computer version. It's 2020. I read the Q3 report by Alphabet Inc. And from what I gathered, Mr. Pichai was a little more excited and was talking a lot more about something called Google Discover than the search engine, the one you know. If you want to be visible into new technology, into different format of content, well, you have to rethink everything. Everything you know is done. Is not relevant. And Lily, my advice is you became this EAT personality. Short term, yeah, it's fun. Get some public speaking gigs, webinars, the whole stuff. Fine. In 5 years, are you sure you still want to talk about EAT? For your information, I need to put a little bit of context. So I will need to talk a little bit about myself so you understand better where I come from. I retired from public speaking because I was so sick of people asking me to talk about one single topic, which was a very interesting topic, a much larger topic than what EAT is all about. Semantic SEO. That's what I'm known for. I'm known in French. I've developed the number one SEO strategy, like not some $99 ebook that will give you all the tricks. No. Like a real strategy that works step by step. 1, you do this. 2, you do this. 3, you do this. And it works. I didn't work for it to become the most sought after strategy. But to understand a little bit about my mindset, I gave it all for free. I didn't start by selling an ebook or a course. I explained everything 100% free. Oh my God, I think I did another. Fuck Twitter. Fuck Twitter. You, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just gonna say fuck Twitter. Come on YouTube. Multi-streaming is a sport. I don't know why I'm getting into this trouble to multi-stream, especially to platforms like Twitch or DLive, where there's like nobody watching me. So yes, Miss Lily, the issue here is that once they put you into a bucket, you can't get out. It's very hard to get out of that bucket and expand your horizon. And EAT is a dead end. It's not even the end game. It's just some element of the Google quality like graders guidelines and the general document, not the specific documents that they use to do specific tests to validate the data set of machine learning. So that's the first like propaganda. element that I want to point out. Those quality rater guidelines. When you get hired by Google as a quality rater, they give you that. Yeah, read that guide, and then you go work on very specific tasks, and those are not in the They are not in the guide. It's more about how you let's say, okay, there's a SERP, a query, and or a set of queries, and we're gonna test how we tweak BERT, hummingbird, bang brain, whatever, and let's see what happens. And then we need to validate that by humans doing like the validation and saying, okay, was it relevant? Did it work or not? So EAT is a then because I will prove it to you. I will show it to you what's the real goal in a couple of seconds. And that's first. And second of all, is just some notion, concept for quality raters. That's not very like high level stuff, and especially where do you go from there to build a real strategy? It seems like a struggle to put together a practical, actionable strategy. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, X number of steps, like I'm doing in my strategy. I published a 2-hour video, which is a condensed version of a 20-hour course. And I will try to summarize all this in 2 minutes. So, 20-hour course. If you don't have time to watch the 2-hour video, which is, if you search semantic SEO on YouTube, I should be up there if I don't suck so too much at SEO. If it's too long, I will explain to you in 2 minutes how to win the game, how to beat Google forever, and never, ever, ever be afraid of the propaganda that will put fear into your mind as a website owner, as a SEO. It's remarkable what Google did. They did some stuff, how they fought the business of buying and selling links is absolutely genius. I will tell you that. It's honestly, in the most evil way, congrats, Google. Amazing. How they discovered by mistake the power of basic psychological warfare strategies and use them to basically stop everybody from abusing page rank backlinks, like instantly. Okay? First penguin hit, no links were done on the entire planet. People always ask me, how did I do it? How did I build the number one SEO strategy in France? Well, timing. I was using it for, and again, I will explain it to you very simply in a couple of minutes. But I was using it for a few years, and Panda came. That was the first headbutt. Then Penguin came. That was like the fist fucking. Okay, so SEOs were left with nothing to achieve results. how do I do SEO? And I came with my strategy that I explained, gave it out to the world for free. I didn't even copyright anything, didn't even reserve domain names. I said, take it all, do whatever you want with it. And then, yes, of course, I did make some money with it. It was very profitable, and I'm still making money with it. And I don't see why I, even if I give something out for free, I will not be allowed to make a little part for myself. But first, dear Lily, let's see if 30 years ago, if you heard, and you probably know the history of nightlife in New York City. Well, in the early 90s, I was there, and I was like, we could have spent good times together. I was working for someone called Peter Gation, and I was what's called an artistic director of a nightclub called The Tunnel. Also did a lot of parties at Limelight, Palladium, not at Club USA. That was amongst other things. But yeah, the nightlife, I was living in the East Village, 12th Street for between 3rd and 4th. Going to CBGB's often right before going across the street to Bowery Bar, where I had to go back to the life of being one of those nice nightlife professionals, going out with the supermodel and driving the Triumph 1972 Bonneville stripped down cafe racer, playing the cool guy. So there's a funny history here where you remind me a little bit of this past I had in the 90s, and how I was an anomaly, a little bit like you, because I'm a nerd, but I was also an artist and also a nightlife person. And the fact that you are affiliated with Man Ray is also something I admire, because I take a lot of photos. I'm a black and white type of photographer. I only started colors a couple of years ago. And let's see my Instagram account. Let's see how much black and white. It looks like I studied colors because of fucking Instagram. Because colors are complicated. But Man Ray, it took me sometimes a few years to understand what he wanted to say. But his work is black and white. Big props to you for being related to Man Ray, especially when I see that you, I don't know if you do photography, but I do street photography. Okay, so see, fair share of black and white. Maybe this is a little bit Man Ray kind of this, but this is in color. Okay, that's also some part of me that you don't know and where we could relate. And talking about black and white, I mean, I'm a nut. If people who know a little bit about photography and can tell what this camera is, know that I'm very serious about black and white. But I also like shooting with film. Look, sound. Listen. It's like shooting a gun. Love it. Now, in 1990, I worked for Peter Gation. He was my mentor. I learned a lot about how to build a brand, marketing, business in general from him. I was even there when the shit went down, when Giuliani started cracking down and the whole FBI and the whole... And then I was out of the US, or not accepted back in anymore because my student visa ran out a long time ago. And I was going back and forth every 3 months. That was to explain to you the link, the New York City nightlife. I understand this part. I also understand the artistic part. Now, what's happening with the SEO is you could, when you see an attack like I did, telling you, yeah, if you really think like that, you better quit your job. But people stopped there. There was another sentence next to that. Okay? I just didn't tell you, you suck, you don't know what you're talking about, quit SEO. I told you a better option. I deeply, strongly, honestly believe that you would be a much better fit, a way higher level of this stupid EAT concept that goes nowhere. So what do I have in mind? I share a couple of screenshots, but maybe you didn't see them. So here they are. Doo-doo-dum. Look! I love this pic. Yeah. Oh shit! I need to. This is like a young teenager looking at this old lady without a mask, and she's like, "Oh my God, what are you doing, Grandma, without your mask?" This is pretty crazy look too. Okay, anyway, enough photography. Let's go to work. So what I shared on Twitter was this screenshot. This is from Google Analytics. For your information, I don't use Google Analytics, and this is a screenshot from my personal SEO blog. I stopped using Analytics in 2007. I use Yandex Metrica because I really prefer to give my data to the Russians than Google. And I also host my websites and my tools and in China because Google and Facebook don't get there. Pretty funny statement, actually, if you think about it, that you prefer to go to Russia and China to hide from America. This is called the traffic in 3/3. This is the goal. This is what you want to reach. This is you're going on Mars for Elon Musk. EAT in itself is nothing, and it's missing some important key parts, especially what's going on offsite, which are included in my system. So I got 2 slides to show you. Okay, very simple. 1 pie and 1 pyramid. Okay, so here you go. Orange, search engine. This is SEO. This is PageRank, popularity, backlinks, keywords in Google or other search engines. That's what I call P of popularity. Then the green is A of authority. This is the power of your brand. And I dispatch all the branded keywords in that part of the pie and not on the organic traffic part. And this is, in my opinion, where you should go, working that green part. Also, the blue part, referring sites, referring are people influent in your industry, including your competition, talking about you, and do you receive qualified traffic? That's the notoriety, okay? Popularity, notoriety, authority. The blue is the hardest. That's a real goal. EAT doesn't mean anything concrete as far as how do I achieve results, okay? Put down the author name, okay, blah blah. Be sure to reference your content. That's the end game, in my opinion. Maybe some other people see it otherwise. I'm not a guru. My shit is the best, but if you got the good shit, I'm happy for you. Okay, that's everybody's. There's only not one road that leads to Rome. Okay, you can achieve results with very different SEO strategies, but I'm no fool. I'm no blindsided by this message from Google that tries to influence how I explain SEO to my students and my clients. I believe to be like maybe some others are doing it, but I think I'm the only one who goes from high class content marketing like it must be done, okay? The super duper content that is supposed to be talked about, blah blah, like, okay, the Google message of be awesome. Content marketing, high class content marketing, to Black Hat SEO with a private links network, while building the strongest semantic SEO layer. Please tell me who else is doing it. I'll be curious. Who else is talking about using all the tools, all the assets I have at my disposal? I don't care about the Google guidelines. I can use it as toilet paper. I wanted to print the Google guidelines on toilet paper. I couldn't find any printer that could. They could print like a phrase, okay, on each sheet of paper, but couldn't print the whole thing. I don't understand why do you need to basically say, Google guidelines. They am I even live on fucking LinkedIn? I don't think I'm live. That was the whole point. About featured activity, SEO activity. No, not live. That's sad. Why am I not live? Let's see. Okay, you know what? Forget LinkedIn. So now, again, apologies. for just being so brutal and not taking any roses or wrapping paper to deliver this message. But there's it will be hard to object to the fact that my goal of reaching this traffic in 3/3, and how do I build step by step the strategy to do that goal. Okay, that's what I teach. So now there's only two things to keep in mind. Traffic in 3/3. So now if you want to talk EAT, here's how I put it. Just because people ask about it and I have to fit it somewhere. Well, let's go back to this camera. No, let's go low for this one. So here's how I express EAT to my students and my clients. The old SEO triptych is technical content, links. Technical content, links, aka popularity. The new SEO triptych would be EAT. Let's take technical. Yes, SEO audit, that's the basics. Now, can we really trust your website? Do you really protect the privacy of your users? Are you are you welcoming people well? Is your website pretty? Is it fast? And so on. That's a different level to trust, okay, than just doing like the basic technical SEO audit. Then let's go over to content. Are you an expert? And are you able to demonstrate your expertise in fashion, like interesting, funny, provocative, whatever it is? But if you got like 5 PhDs in gardening, but you can explain to me how to grow tomatoes in 280 characters, keep your 5 diplomas, your 5 PhDs. So third is popularity. And that's where my definition of authority, because they don't look at links, quality raters, links are not part of the equation, and this is just ridiculous. But the authority part is, are people influent in your industry talking about you, including your competition? That's raising the standards, okay, from content, technical, and links to, can you demonstrate your expertise? Are people influent in your industry talking about you? To, can we trust your website? I think I did a pretty good job of applying those EAT principles to my explanation, but it doesn't deserve more than that. That's it. Now, to achieve this thing, yeah, there's a lot more here. There's a lot more that goes in to be able to, one, be good at SEO. Okay? Semantic SEO is my thing. That's what I'm known for. If you speak French, you can Google Cocon Semantique. I call it topical mesh in English, but there's not much information out there yet, unless you are ready to listen to the 2-hour video. Here is my summary. This is what we want. We want to achieve this goal of being an authority who has notoriety and popularity. Now, it's 2020. Before, when I started in 2004, it was simple. It was free traffic, 100% free traffic from Google. So we had 100% free traffic from Google. We had a keyword, and then we have a web page, and then we had a CTR, and then we had money. Google, keyword, web page, CTR, money. Now this is what we face. And this is multi-format, multimedia, multi-device. It's three-dimensional, okay? This is a lot more interesting than just EAT, okay? This is everybody sucks, me including, at this, because 90% of the time is spent gathering information and comparing, while 100% of the people who pretend to give out information on the first layers of the information funnel, they pretend they want to convert, okay? They're like, yeah, I give you information, but buy or fuck off. This is the mindset today. Buy or fuck off. This is a good fight. This is huge because everybody is very, very bad at being able to engage. The right engagement at the right time, at the right place, has no price. It's so binary today where, okay, if I don't buy or fuck off, what can I do? Maybe some comment, maybe some sharing, social media sharing buttons. Maybe I can subscribe to some newsletter. Sorry, what else? Okay, how good are we to engage? Depending on the level of where the people searching for information is situated within this funnel. Furthermore, what about this guy here? How good are we? Everything you say, everything every single SEO says right now is about ranking text on web pages that rank for Google, the computer version. It blows my mind that, okay, text, video, audio, and image. Text, video, image. Even within the Google SERP, this is something I teach also, how to smell the SERP. So let's go into the system. Step one, what do I do? How do I work? What is my mystery? What is my system? What is my secret strategy to what would be like a Neil Patel type of title? How to what is this like Neil Patel wannabe, like Brian Dean? Okay, how to I studied 3 million web pages, and I will tell you how to increase by 257% your web traffic in less than 30 days. Okay. You would be very surprised to learn that step one, I don't do keyword research. I don't do none of that. First step, what we do, branding exercises. We learn who are we talking to and who are we. I've got a whole set of exercises to explore who are we talking to and who are we. So you might think I'm just a troll. You might think I don't know nothing. Well, I think I know a little bit, and I think I got it right because of the success. I got the track record to prove that what I preach works. The only problem, it's in French. So it's a bit awkward for me to try to explain to you and prove to you how successful I was to help people achieve results, because it's all in French and it's 20 years of sharing in French. And I'm brand new. I was just born in English 5 minutes ago, beginning of the pandemic. Before, I was good. I was working like 5-10 hours a week. I was chilling, did everything on autopilot, and now I'm back to work. So, whatever. Let's not. I have time to play again. Step 1. Who are we talking to? Who are we? Step 2. Empathy map. We forget who we are. We build a journey using a mind mapping tool of every single question, interrogation, objection, frustration, whatever. We explore the mindset of the buyer persona. Okay? That's how I work. Using a mind mapping tool, first we put at the center asking ourselves the right question, which is not a keyword like buy cheap women shoes on sale. Okay? No. I want to know what are you selling really beyond the product or the service. For example, a dentist who is whitening the teeth, he's selling you a new smile. For example, someone who is buying a luxury camera like a Leica, well, this one doesn't have the red dot, so it's pretty useless if you want to really show off. But some people would buy this device just to show off the red dot. So what do you want to prove? What are you selling? Okay. Why is this camera? Well, this monochrome M10 is very special. But if it was a regular camera, why is it 10 times more expensive than the other ones? Because of that red dot. So what are you really selling here? So you ask yourself the right question at the center, then you explore all the topics that are related to the perspective, to the view of your buyer persona. Then phase 2, you become the SEO capitalist and you start to put the keywords and blah, 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 all this, keyword difficulty, and I even go into scaling content. There's a number next to each node, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that means the commercial ambition of the page. And we don't treat a page with a 1 like a page with a 4. Every single page in my strategy has the right to exist as an entity. It's a page. It's an URL. It has its place. And then it must play a role within the whole structure. semantic SEO is simple. Before, we would rank on a keyword by repeating the keyword X number of times on the page and on anchor links, anchor text of backlinks. That was it. Then I came around, and sorry I told the French before the rest of the world, but I said, hey, what about if you want to be relevant, play the mystery word game. So I say, the mystery word game is, can you explain something, like playing a TV show game? Okay, can you define something and make me guess that's something? And of course, you can't say that's something. Okay, so this needs to be applied on page, the mystery word game. This is also applied around the page, the way the pages are linked in the site, what I call a topical mesh, with the semantic proximity between each page, who is in relation to what and why, and the private links network. I don't care about what Google says about links. There's nothing better than a private links network taking over control of your links. If you do it right, if you do it properly, there's nothing better. I'm not saying all your links need to be like that, because that's the proper SEO layer. That's the strong pillar. Then I do everything around SEO. Remember the first pie, okay? Authority, notoriety, popularity. We need to work on that. And branding is the key difference. When someone, I'll give you a trick. When someone comes up to you and say, why am I only 6? Look at the number 1 and the number 2. My backlinks are better. My content, I'm using the technique of this French guy. It's supposed to do wonders. What's the deal? You can bet in advance. Go to Google Trends, enter the website of the person who's asking the question and the website of the competition. 100% of the times, the website that becomes an entity and becomes like a rising entity, maybe hopefully a named entity, will win. SEO actions, the old way, it's instead of keywords, I talk about entities. Instead of search volume, I talk about user intent. I talk about relevancy. Instead of keyword research, I talk about audience segmentation. Instead of backlinks, I talk about engagement. There's a famous quote of me during a keynote where I say, and that's when the rel nofollow came out. I was like, I'd rather have a clicked nofollow link in the body of text rather than a do follow link in the gangbang of a footer. So now that I explained very quickly this SEO strategy, and I leave it up to you to judge if I don't know what I'm talking about or not, and if I'm full of it or not. But now let's go into what hurts and why, in my opinion, you became the worst that could happen with the Google propaganda. Because it's a win-win situation, so it's good for you, it's good for Google, but it's not Google's place to pick and choose and play favorites with SEOs. I mean, first of all, no, let's finish here. I miss Matt Cutts. I'm a Matt Cutts fan. I won't deny it. Matt Cutts taught me a lot. What Matt Cutts was not saying was more important than everything that John Mueller said since he started talking SEO. Now, John, I'm not attacking you, but you have to understand that when you are left without mad cuts, employee number 87, I think, or something like that, less than 100 from Google, engineer in the team of Amit Singhal, the guy who built Google, heading the anti-spam, and then what do they give you instead? Someone who's got platinum level on the Google Webmaster Forum. Because that's how you got the job. I won't go into the details of how much you never did SEO. And I looked at your blog. I looked at your professional website. Props to you. You answered a lot of questions on a Webmaster Forum, but I don't think you ever did once SEO in your life, ever. Especially now. And especially now, you preach, talk the walk the talk. No. Talk the walk the talk, okay? If I tell someone, be awesome, create content that's so interesting that you can grab links organically, I know what I'm talking about. I've done it several times. If I explain to someone how to buy links, same. Done it. Know very well how to do it. But when you pretend something because it's the official message, but you've never done it, you don't know what it takes, and the biggest lie we have to face here is this is not 100% wrong, okay? To say that produce amazing content and the rest will follow, yes, for the 0.01% of the pyramid of content producers, that will happen. Brent Fishkin, he can say whatever he wants. Everybody will talk about it. Maybe you are famous enough to what are you guys saying? Gangbang over that. David, topical match would be the G point of 2021. Yes. Topical mesh. We are going. I'm making the demonstration. Go onto the mailing list of SEOconspiracy.com, and I will show you the topical mesh in 52 fucking steps. Okay, usually it's 6-7 steps. We're going for 52. I will show you how to build the best fucking website in the world, the strongest semantic SEO layer, surrounded by the most awesome global content marketing strategy and spiced up with a beautiful private links network. Unbeatable. There's nothing left to achieve the number one spot. And when I say number one, it's not just number one in Google. It's number one, being a number one. And also, again, how do you become visible on this device if you still produce text hosted on web pages that are optimized for a search engine called Google, the computer version? How do you deal with being visible on this device? EAT won't help you for that. content marketing world. Now, the Google propaganda started by accident. First, on Webmaster World was someone called Google Guy who started to answer questions. And I even check this out. Let me try to find it. I was translating all the posts from Google Guy. And I'm sorry, I'm really sorry, all the how can you say? I love your title, webmaster or trends analyst. What are your analysis of your trend, of the trends? You're a community manager, okay? You guys in Zurich and the couple of them in Mountain View are community managers, period. That's what you're called. Maybe it doesn't fit you. Maybe it's downgrading, but that's basically what you are, okay? You manage the community and you answer to all these people. It was a blog spot. I don't know. Maybe I lost it. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Well, I was following up every single post of Google Guy and I was translating it in French for my fellow French colleagues who don't fucking speak English. When I stream in French, hundreds of people are watching. When I stream in English, none. 10 people watch. Oh, we just hello Zero Tooth. We just relaunched our whole new site following your topic on my strategy. 500 pages. Keep me informed. Keep me informed, because then there is the phase of you need to adjust. You launch and you tell, and Google will tell you, are you right or wrong? What, and then you need to do a little bit fine tuning. But the Google propaganda, so Google Guy was Matt Cutts. And then he appeared as Matt Cutts, because that's the way it happens at Google. They don't fucking know what they're doing, okay, as far as communication, and they had no plans. So they saw this guy who started to answer on forums, and they say, okay, well, you are like a pretty high-level engineers, but you seem to have good communication skills, so why don't you talk to those SEOs? And he did. And he did a great job. And I really dearly miss Matt Cutts. So now, nothing against none of those community managers from Zurich, but there's one rule in life. You have to earn respect. When I hear that you never did any SEO, when I analyze you never did any SEO, when I analyze that you spread a message that you are not able to apply yourself, do this awesome piece of content that everybody will talk about, and that you got a job because you got the platinum plate of the top poster on the Google Webmaster Forum, sorry to say that I don't give you a lot of credits, okay? But I apologize to Lily, and I hope she accepts my apologies, because, stand by what I thought, but the way I expressed it was totally wrong. and you're more than welcome to contact me if you want to know more about how I think you're making a huge mistake sticking into this EAT thing. But then, John Mueller, props to you because you earn my respect. At first, I almost did. People told me, why don't you do a blog about all the crap that John Mueller says? Well, it's not very positive. So I didn't do it, but I could have done because I was picking up on so much crap that you were saying that I was like, wow. But throughout the years, little by little, well, I give you props. I give you respect because your job is not easy. And again, doing community management for Google SEO is a difficult place. You have an entire continent who is really aggressive and really mean. And I know that it wasn't nice. My tweet to Lily was not proper. What these people from this specific continent of 1.6 billion people, so that's a lot of digital marketers, did to you. But now, this propaganda, this message of be awesome. Okay, now next question. How do I do that? Well, produce the best content you can. Okay, how do I do that? Well, you got to know what you're talking about and then you write about it. Okay, how do I do that? So, even if you are the best at what you can be, you will never be good enough to reach the top of this pyramid of content producers, the top of the top, who can get organic reach regardless of what they do. So for the rest of the people, 99.9% of the regular SEOs or website owners, well, there's a dilemma here. And you are not helping. And you are not helping because you are just a fireman. You correct mistakes. And what I don't understand is in the way Google communication is not organized, but could be a little bit organized, you got resources. So now, here's my theory. There is a very good SEO starter guide by Google. Why don't you point to that guide? I've not read all your tweets, but did you ever not say something but just point out to the most complete and official resource? I don't think so. I don't think you do. Why? Probably because you were a consultant on building that guide. So you are like, well, fuck them. They didn't ask me to do it, so I'm not going to tell about it. That's ridiculous. And that's the way a company like Google is failing as far as a corporate culture when it becomes on the need-to-know basis. They did a wonderful study called the Aristotle Principle, something like that. It was a 2-year study. What was the name of it? The Aristotle Principle, something. Aristotle, Google, and you'll find it. Aristotle, Google. Project. Yeah. What Google learned from its quest to build the perfect team. And what you're missing is a leader. You're missing Matt Cutts. You don't have Matt Cutts. What happens is you're doing whatever you can by doing this community management, but you're addressing a population of SEOs that are maybe, they have basic problems, so you have to solve those basic problems. But honestly, like, I don't give a shit. Like, I don't care. Like, it doesn't help me. Matt Cutts help me. You don't help me. So now, how do you deal with this type of SEOs who know, okay, they know. What do we want? What you are unable to provide, or not often enough, is I want engineers. Your job should be to bring engineers. I see once in a while in your podcast, the last one, forgot his name, but about AMP and so you do it sometimes. But this is why do I care? Like, to listen to John, Martin, and Gary talk about what do you do for holidays? Like, okay, sure, it's a podcast. You can chill. But please, and when the problem is, I'm looking for the podcast I liked. Whatever. So you do have some good guests on this podcast, but the level stays pretty low. It doesn't go very deep. Again, it's not very helpful. It opens ideas, makes me think about how I need to explore a certain path, but beyond that, nothing. So that's pure Google propaganda, like at the wrong place, at the wrong time, with the wrong people. You need a very charismatic figure heading your team, and somebody who knows. I want Pragbakar. I want Pragbakar Raghavan to start talking. I want him to start talking. He's the man. He's the one I want to hear. I really want to hear what Pragbakar has to say. For those who don't know, Pragbakar is the boss of Google Search, Ads, and Voice Assistant. He's the man who is going to save Google from itself. It was a mess. It's still a mess. It's going to be very messy. It's been messy in 2020. He came on. He's breaking everything to make everything better. Act fast, break things. I love the way he's applying elegance in simplicity. And he's got the track record to prove that he knows what he's doing. I want to hear from Pragbakar Raghavan. And if he starts speaking, then it will trickle down the pyramid, because the top needs to give the example. So now the biggest... Okay, we are on the first level lie about this message. Backlinks, blah, blah, it's evil, don't do links. Martin, I watch one of those myth-busting videos. Oh, wow. No shame in stopping something that sucks. no shame in deleting something that sucks, because it sucks. It's not because I'm called SEO Conspiracy and I do myth busting every Monday, but I do myth busting. When I hear your guest, she's the lady in charge of the webmaster console for Bing. Okay? Context matters. The person in charge of the Bing webmaster console talking to a JavaScript expert / community manager from Zurich working for Google. And the video starts by, I want to debunk a myth about the idea that if you get more backlinks, you will rank higher. Big laugh from Martin, voice fading out of the lady saying, because then they start spamming, cut, jump cut, and they go on to something else. You can't do that, okay? And you're laughing about it? So now you are saying that something is a myth because people are using it a little bit like in a more aggressive manner than what you wish. So you are saying getting more backlinks won't make you rank higher, and you laugh about it, and you validate that, and you put that in the introduction of your myth-busting videos. I can probably say a lot of wrong shit on my stuff. First, I don't work for Google. Second, I'm allowed to be wrong. That's also something you need to learn, guys, okay? You have the right to be wrong. And you have the right also to say, I don't know, okay? I don't know. Or I don't know, I'll get back to you with the answer after going to someone who knows. Or like I said, point out to a relevant source. But a Google-made official resource. When did you think it was okay? When did that become okay to do this kind of stuff? Okay, John? Do you understand what's going on here? Do you understand that you can't do that? What's even funnier, for your information, I'm a head judge at the European Search Awards, the Canada Search Awards, and a judge in a bunch of other awards, including UK Search Awards and others. You can't do that. It's not your place. This is shocking. And what is even more shocking, again, I'm a head judge at the European Search Awards. I know my role. I know my place. I know what I can say and what I can't. Arij is a head judge at this Global Search Awards where you actually, the funny part is you won that award where you recommended her. She is a judge. She can't be she can't receive the award. She's not allowed. So what kind of answer is that? That's totally mind-blowing that this person, I don't know her, but as a head judge, thanks, John, for your information. I'm a judge. Therefore, I can't receive an award. But appreciate the attention. But first of all, this tweet should have never existed. Then you got stuff like this, where you got tricked, where you got trapped. And I believe after this came out, you got bitch slapped by whomever is watching you because you got played here, buddy. Yes, Google has metrics that map into similar things. Okay, this is does Google have a domain authority concept? And you say yes, Google has metrics that map into similar things. How can you say that? How can you fall into that trap? Okay, and for your information, well, go to the myth-busting playlist and look at now we have 2 videos about the domain authority myth, and there's a third one on the way. No, you can't do that, John, okay? This is bad. This is really bad. To answer these kind of things, especially when you are on Moz.com. You can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. So now, let's move a little further into the conspiracy. Let's go deeper. How did they discover the power of psychological warfare tactics? By mistake. They launched a manual filter targeting content farms called Panda, named after the engineer, not the animal. And it was a mistake because everything was good. The first one that got hit by Panda was Google, because all the websites that got penalized were displaying AdSense. But it started to show on some mainstream media. It was some high-profile blogger, forgot who he was, who started, then some journalist. And the funniest was the New York Times criticizing Google for displaying this low-quality content. Well, this stupid journalist from the New York Times didn't know that it was certainly not the New York Times paying his salary, but the content farm called About.com, which was owned by the New York Times. So those guys, they don't even, wow. So, okay, Panda, they had to do it because the investors read the New York Times and it starts to look bad when Google is criticized for displaying low quality results. That was the first slap. But this slap was different from the other ones. And I'm used to get bitch slapped by Google. I started in November 2003 with the Florida update. Before I was even an official SEO, first website, so they got destroyed. As SEO, the penalty or the blacklist is just part of the business model. Today, I reported in the SEO Conspiracy News about a podcast that talked about the similarity between poker and SEO. And it's true, there is a lot of similarity between poker and SEO. Now, let's get close and personal to talk about the big breakthrough. You have 2 things I need to tell. First, they discover with Panda that because they attacked regular folks, okay? Regular business owners, not professional search engine optimizer, and certainly not search engine hackers like me, okay? I'm not just a regular black hat SEO. I can prove it to you. I will prove it to you. I'm for real. So they started to touch regular people. And that was the first time. And they realized the power of this very simple psychological warfare tactic compared to improving the algorithm to fight spam. The way, the impact from the psychological impact of Panda was much higher than what the algorithmic filter achieved. So then they said, all right, now let's do links. Penguin arrived. And game over. They won. What's really funny is what's left of Panda in the core algorithm is, there's some stuff. It helped. What's left of Penguin in the core algorithm? Like nothing. Flag on the commercial anchor text. Flag on maybe velocity, but I don't know. Not much more. So again, this psychological warfare tactic of telling you, like someone who is not a professional will be afraid, and everybody got afraid. Today people are paralyzed. People who, of course, don't know the truth, and you got half of the people who believe this nonsense about the fact that backlinks are evil and you shouldn't do them, so they don't get any results. And you got the other half of, one, those who shut the fuck up. Two, those who, in front of the camera, on stage, they play the white knight. Okay, they play like the fantasy of I don't buy links, and then they do like everybody else, private links network, buying links everywhere you want to put it. And you have the third kind, where once in a while, a tweet, a sentence, they will say there is something wrong here. So I'm taking that space by myself. SEO Conspiracy. I'm debunking SEO myth, but I'm also going head on to say that this is enough. You won, okay? They're all scared. They don't want to do links. You don't need to. It's like somebody is grasping for air underwater and you're like pushing back. And sorry, I always have problem pronouncing his last name. Gary Als. The one in Mountain View. Very funny guy. When he posted on Reddit his list of links to buy or PBN, and he got moderated. How did that feel? You're a funny guy. This is the danger guy. I can read Martin, I can read John Mueller, I can read Gary, and it's a problem. And Danny Sullivan, of course, I can read Danny, no problem. Because he's one of us, so used to be. But this Gary guy, first of all, he's not in Zurich, he's in Mountain View. I don't know what he's doing there. I don't know what is his job. I don't know. And yeah, I don't like when I can't read people. And now you got to relax, because here is an information that most SEOs won't share with you. But how did Google figure out, well, we can't keep on playing cat and mouse. It's not working. So as long as the link has some purpose, as long as the link is not so ugly and spammy and dirty, well, it doesn't matter if it's paid or not paid. But the evil, and I really was surprised how smart and evil that move was, is when they identify a website that sells links. By the way, every website that displays ads, you can't buy links. Okay? Every single one. Every single website that displays ads, you can buy a link on it, regardless of its authority. So I'm not saying that all the websites that sell links are flagged, but those that are flagged by Google as heavy link sellers, what did they do? They turn off the PageRank juice. So no penalty. You don't see anything. The website is behaving. The website's selling links. Okay, not affected. You are paying, especially those type of websites are the website's the most expensive one, over $1,000, and the link you're buying won't get any PageRank. Especially since your SEO strategy is such a mess and you do everything at the same time, you buy links everywhere and you publish content, you can't isolate all the actions. You need to build a link, wait 3, 4, 5, 6 months to see if there is an effect of that link. If you bought links all over the place, build links all over the place, what works, what doesn't work, you don't know. Now, before I go into another big conspiracy that really annoys me about Google, I wanted to bring up something else. Hold on. What am I doing here? I'm looking. Okay, let me close down some tabs. I'm not one of those like 250 tabs type of person. I can't do that. Yeah. Oh, you have stumbled onto an article by Christine. I know Lily, Christine, got some beef going on. Not my problem. This is not the reason why. Again, your problem, girls, not mine. You thought that Google Plus was a social network. It wasn't. I wasn't. Okay. It was. It was intended to be an identity. Here's the word. Identity service. Okay? This is Eric Schmidt, CEO of Google, saying Google Plus was built primarily as an identity service. So now, here's another lie. Tell you it's a social network. In fact, no. It's an identity service to track everyone. Now, do I know what I'm talking about? Because you could also, this is the argument here. I've heard it. I've read it yesterday on Twitter. Oh, he's trying to drag people to listen to his podcast by making controversies, okay? Lily, I'm very happy for you that you got a lot of love from those community managers in Zurich. and I'm very happy for all the SEOs who got this quote unquote appreciation by Googlers, but that's 100% wrong. This is not the place. Matt Cutts knew where to draw the line. Matt Cutts knew where, when it was too far, when it was too much. Okay? I remember he would walk around with a little black book and sometimes say, hey, did you look at this website? Write it down, and then the website was gone the next day. You could talk to him. You could have straight up very nice conversations, but he would draw a line that you, Googlers, crossed over. And you played people like Lily to serve your purpose. So now, yeah, it's good for a brand, for sure. I know some people, especially I know one guy in France, his entire business is built on the fact that he was working for Google. If his real job was he was the pre-selector of, he had to go through all those spam reports, and when he was seeing one that was worth it, he would pass it on to the search quality team, and he built his entire business on this fantasy of being a former Googler with magic power. So good for you, but not good for Google. When did you think that was okay to point out to SEOs when it comes to algorithmic questions? Okay? It's not right. It's not okay. Why can't you find engineers to answer those type of questions? You can talk to SEOs about the business of SEO. You can talk to SEOs about SEO stuff. But when it comes to Google algorithms, what? Googlers pointing out to SEOs when it's about the topic is about Google algorithms, I'm missing a point here. In my opinion, that's a line that should have never been crossed. Now, I understand how certain Googlers could be a little bit power tripping and on this, taking selfies, having lots of people waiting online to talk to you and all this stuff. Been there, done that. What I have, and nobody else does, and you will never be able, because it's not possible anymore today. Why? Because he's not at Google anymore. If on April 1st, 2007, Matt Cutts' blog got hacked, defaced, erased, and there was this picture showing in the place of the website. And the way I read it, well, first of all, LB here, out of all the letters in the alphabet, do you think that's just random? I don't know. Let's ask Matt Cutts if he knew how I was with my 6 friends behind the Dark SEO team. We were search engine hackers, okay? Different from Black Hat SEO who make money doing crap. We look for the flaws, we find them, and we disclose them. That's what we did numerous times. So first, how you can hijack a URL with a redirect, how you can steal the page rank. We were the first ones. We had a website. I can show you the code, actually. Here you go. Here you go. Okay. This is what we used to here, header location. You put a website here, and whatever page rank that website had, you would be able to display it in the Google toolbar. Everybody went crazy because we were cloaking. So nobody could see this piece of code that I'm showing you here. But yeah, I can explain to you exactly where does that come from. I found that flow. I found the flow of how to steal, quote unquote, because this is a fake page rank. It was not real. So I'm just not a black hat that makes money with dirty stuff, and that's probably why I was not targeted like some of my friends who had to quit the business because they were targeting on like a personal level. Like really, okay, whatever they would do would not work anymore. They had to quit, and they went into other good stuff. Good for them. But I guess the fact that I was tolerated is because I found the flaws and I didn't use them to make money or too much money. So this is the letter we wrote to Matt Cutts, and the duplicate content. Okay, the duplicate content problem is still not fixed in 2020, and this was in 2005. Okay, so 15 years later, duplicate content flaw in the algorithm is still there. You can still break very easily Google with redirects. So yeah, I guess that was the way. And okay, forgot to tell you, that was fake. We didn't hack Matt Cutts. I guess that was an homage. That's the way I read it, from Matt Cutts to us. What else do I really need? Some love from like the community managers from Zurich after this? No, I don't. And we did pretty well in my family, actually, with Google, because I also have my brother who was contracted directly by Larry Page to work for Google Labs. Okay? The secret Google Labs. So, yeah, I guess in the family, we didn't too bad as far as getting props from Google. So I'm not jealous of anybody having taken a selfie with John Mueller, because how can you beat the homage from Matt Cutts on April 1st, 2007? Now, the final point of the Google propaganda, and it's linked. You have two levels here. You have one level where you, how can I say? If you follow the whole DOJ lawsuits and big tech hearings, Google is trying to paint a story about how, thanks to them, small businesses were able to do business. It's a good tactic, but it's so obvious, it's so readable, and you just see they're buying all kind of ads everywhere about how much we help small businesses, blah blah. This is trying to shift the public opinion into how Google was so useful, and indeed Google is useful. Indeed, Google changed the world. But first, if Google didn't exist, businesses will have figured out a way to do business regardless. A different way, but business is business. We find a way. Point number 2. This is not, it's like you're trying, okay, do the magic trick. Please look here. Well, there's something happening there. It's unbelievable. In the 451 pages of the DOJ report, there is a passage about crawling, indexing, and so on. How does Google work? Not one single mention of SEO. How powerful is that? Google dominates the world. We dominate Google. And nobody knows about us. Nobody. Even within the digital marketing world, people are scared of us. No, I mean, come on. Have you heard of more powerful skills? I mean, the president of the USA or the CIA can't do that. Nobody can do what we can do. Meaning, craft the message. Make it rank number 1. Okay? Create content, distribute content, promote content, analyze results, rinse and repeat. That's the content marketing process. But anyways, it's pretty intense what's going on here. And the power we have of dominating Google when we are 100% invincible and nobody knows we exist. And I found it fascinating and I love it. I love the fact that there was no SEO testifying in front of Congress. We got the power, not Google. We do. You don't need to be afraid of Google. You need to apply the right strategy. Once again, go search for semantic SEO and look at my content to understand the whole strategy. I got no ebook to sell, no course, no nothing. You can hire me as a consultant, but that's about it. But now, let's go. Okay, so there's a bunch of problems that DOJ talked about, and I'm not going to repeat them, but I'm going to talk about something that I find gives me I won't throw up when I see this kind of attitude. It's okay. Check this out. Here's the biggest lie. Sundar Pichai. We are the first major company to make a commitment to operate 24/7 carbon-free energy in all our data center and campuses worldwide by 2030. We are the first to eliminate our carbon legacy, meaning we buy. It's interesting how you can find very easily the information about how Google is very good at being carbon free. But you have to dig a little deeper to understand that they don't. You know what they do? It's called sustainability bonds. They're just rich enough to buy, to give the money that equals to how much pollution they do. That's not being green. You are buying out, you are paying to have the right to say that you saved the planet. Data centers altogether today represent about 1% of the world's energy, which is already humongous. And by 2030, some say it will be up to 8%, which is tremendous. So line number one, Google is not green at all. It's just polluting with diesel generator, with regular electricity and all that stuff. But they're just making a check for lots of billions to have the right to say they're green. And wash your hands saying, I pollute, but because, I give you money. So it's like, I'm forgiven. No, that's not how it works. Especially when you're in an industry which pollutes a lot. So also the way those investments are made. So you give out money, those green tickets, you pay for them. And I'm not special enough, so I will stop here my claim. But what you invest in is also very controversial. And from what I gather, it might not be the right way. Okay? It's a complicated topic. But from what I understand, the money you give to buy the right to say you are saving the planet is not invested wisely. And last point, the biggest lie of them all. You say that you will be carbon free by 2030. Comma, including nuclear. Okay? No fucking windmill or solar panels and stuff like that, okay? Nuclear. So you will use nuclear energy to supply your data centers. And of course, you are not mentioning that in the story, okay? Because, we'll be carbon free by 2030. Thanks to nuclear. Not saying that nuclear is the worst of them all, but still. 5.75 billion in sustainability bonds. That's a lot of money to give out. Okay. So that's the lies. That's all the lies. Look at the gigawatt per hour. I don't even know what that means. Looks big. Sounds big. Gigawatt per hour on a yearly basis. So this is not gonna go down. Okay. The requirements by Google for energy, it won't go down. It will only go up. We really fucked that one up, guys. And I think privacy is next on the table. Another topic for another day. Because a lot of lies also there when you are behind the curtain, when you know, when you see the data, when you're SEO. Some of the stuff I saw again, those guys like Department of Justice, they spent 1 year studying Google, and first they didn't figure out we exist, and they didn't see like a quarter of what we saw, and how even how Google lied. Okay, quick story. Google pretended back in the days, there was a rumor that would say, okay, if you go to Google, to Larry Page and Sergey Brin with a suitcase full of cash, they will put you number one. I said, nah, come on. They don't manipulate manually the queries. They won't do that. Well, they how do you say dénoncer? They told on themselves by saying what they did is they wanted to prove that Bing was scrapping Google, okay? That Bing was looking at Google index and swallowing it. So what they did is they created fake queries, meaning they proved that they can manually go into the index and fuck with it. That was the stupidest move, because until then, we had no proof that Google could manipulate the results. And I reported last week in the news, $500 million deal between Facebook and Google, where Facebook says, okay, I'll spend at least $500 million in Google ads, but you have to give me some return of investment. Okay, I need, I don't know the number, didn't look it up, but I need to know in advance how much this will look in my business report. So if you got enough cash, money buys everything. Even Google. $500 million. Who can say no, okay? So the Google propaganda is built on not so tricky and mastermind elements. It's built on basically tricks that they learn along the way, and it's also built on what happens to a company that goes from a startup with a bunch of cool guys with a cool idea that raised a bunch of money. First mistake. Why don't you look for customers, okay? Instead of trying to raise money, why don't you raise customers? I hate this startup mindset of being in the business of looking for money. Look for customers. But then, there's one step that is critical, is when a startup starts to hire managers. It becomes a company. Things change. And you got those investors that are breaking balls. And then you go IPO. You go public. And that's over. The company that you pretended you were when you were a startup, and you can try to make people believe that there's still this spirit, the don't be evil. And if you, today's news of SEO Conspiracy is mentioning the new what is it called, worker union, let me find it. 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 5. Microsoft Lessons. So this is called the Alphabet. What is it called? Okay, here you go. I got it. The Alphabet Workers Union. We recognize our power as Alphabet workers, full-time employees, temporary employees, blah, 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 blah. And basically they say, yeah, we used to say don't be evil, so let's do that again. What's interesting is it's the Alphabet Workers Union. Alphabet Inc. was a genius move because they knew he was coming. They knew DOJ was. They did it to Microsoft. And I reported that in the news, the lesson learned from the Microsoft shakedown by DOJ. And probably some similar stuff are going to happen. So today, Alphabet needs to report every 3 months to investors. What I found every time I prepare the news, how do I do it? Whenever I see a link, I drop it, I paste it copy and paste on my notes or Evernote. And every single time I find something that's just so fishy. Okay? Google said that they would not invest in a company because it was called what was it called, the program? Hold on. So that's it. They would not develop AI, artificial intelligence, for weapons or other technologies whose principal purpose or implementation is to cause or directly facilitate injury to people. That's okay. Project Maven. Department of Defense initiative worth a reported potential $250 million a year and $15 million over 18 months to Google. So then you got a bunch of 3,000 Googlers. Now they got a union, but they wrote 3,000 signatures saying, no, it's not okay. We believe that Google should not be in the business of war. What do? They do it anyway. They invest in a startup called Planet, founded by NASA engineers, which deals with the US military, with DoD and all. Orbital, another startup that deals with the military. Short term, 3 months. Every 3 months, they have to report to investors, and all they care about is a curve that goes upward, like this. It doesn't matter if you lie. It doesn't matter if you say something and then you do the opposite a couple of months later. That was, when this is all fresh, this story about, Google should not be in the business of war. And then they go invest in startups that are in the business of war because they need to make money. And those annoying 3,000 people. And guys, Alphabet Workers Union, you all displayed your photos there. Let's keep track. Let's count. Let's look at the career evolution of each of these individuals. Let's see what happens. I wish them good luck. Doing the right thing is always the right thing. That was pretty long. How long was I talking for? And because I assume I'm talking to myself, 2 hours and 12 minutes. Time to go. Who was there? Who was there? Who was there? Oh, Remco. Remco, hey, back when I checked, it was 2-3 years ago, I think, only 2 data centers were cleaned from Google, and one of them was in the Netherlands. When they say green, they say the majority of the energy was carbon free. And what happened to, you're right, Timnit Gebru? Wow, I reported that in the news. Thank you, Remco, for reminding me. But last week, the Dr. Timnit Gebru got fired by Jeff Dean. She was our last watchdog for AI, for not doing evil things. Okay? There's nobody now at Google watching over what they are doing with this technology. She was the last one. More powerful than the US president. Yeah, maybe it's a bit exaggerated, but look, it doesn't seem like, yeah, he's got a different type of power. But me, myself, and I, or you, with just a computer, an internet connection, and some skills, you can do some very good things or very bad things, depending on how is your moral compass as a SEO. So look at yourself in the mirror. I don't care what people think about me. I'm very sorry about what I wrote yesterday. That was totally wrong, and I'm not wrong very often. So that's why do I say I'm always right? Because I don't talk about a lot of things. I talk about a very, very tiny little portion of what's going on. I talk about search. That's it. That's the only thing I talk about. But I believe that not so many people, I can talk to pretty much anybody. Bring me the top Google engineer. No problem. I'll have a conversation with him or her. Bring me the whatever, whomever, the accountant. As long as it's about search, don't ask me how to grow tomatoes. I can talk to you a little bit about how to take photos. Martin, I saw you mountain bike. If you want to go real, I'll teach you downhill mountain biking. That's a different game. Scuba diving. I see that you scuba dive. That's cool. Okay, Shedley, you're asking me to audit a website live. No, I'm not gonna audit these websites. Just let me take a look at quickly something. But if you see them rising up, don't forget that I can point you out to, I think it's 16 companies who own Google SERP. 16 companies. Here you go. Pretty much control the world's Google search results. And then that's not answering your question actually. But when you do things right, you do get results fast. So yeah, maybe get in touch. No problem. We can discuss. Take a look at what's going on with those websites. There's always an explanation, and it's sometimes not the most obvious one. No, sorry. The most obvious answer is not always the one you want to hear. When is the next live? I wish soon. I hope soon. I gotta get in the groove. I love doing live streams. I don't do live streams in French anymore. I quit that. So I will do only live streams in English. At the beginning, it was when something big was supposed to happen, I will go live. Now I think I'm just gonna go live more and more, get in the groove of it, and it will become a hopefully even a daily thing. I don't know. We'll see. But soon. It's Tuesday. Let's make a bet. I'll go live again before the end of the week. Let me look at my calendar. Maybe Thursday. Is Thursday good? What can we talk about on Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. Thursday is good. And Thursday we could talk about... You want to go dark? You want to go black at SEO? Let's talk negative SEO. I did this SEO Rush chat about negative SEO, but that was on Twitter and there was the written word. I think it would be fun to go back, do some live about negative SEO, and there is a YouTube Creators Union 2 fairtube.info. Remco, good thing. Google and China. Google and China, yes, of course they changed their mind. Of course, China. How can you not want to be in China? How can you not want to be in that market? I pulled the report. Let me look at it. It's somewhere around here. I was looking at that report just... here you go. See, this is the whole communication strategy 2. Okay, Google, this guy is not a Googler, but he did a study about how Google should and will go to China. And what I found interesting was this slide. Power versus interest grid. Because you see exactly what are the issue with Google and any of those major companies here. This is the problem. Okay? You got meet their needs, customer, employees. You have the key players, the board of directors, shareholders, government, customers. Then you got the least important to each other, activist groups, competitors, also board of directors, because to be honest with you, they're just big kids at the end of the day. And then you have show consideration, media, community. And when you look at how you need to splice this and make everything fit and content everyone. This is it. This is the challenge. And it's pulling in all directions. So to conclude, SEO, Google and SEO, I've always been into this love-hate relationship. But 100% today, what Google is doing is wrong. Meaning taking sides. Saying this SEO is legit to talk about this. That's not your place, Google. If even not mind-blowing that you could even pretend to recommend someone to win an award, stay in your place, okay? You don't have, you can be friendly with SEOs, but you should not put them on a pedestal. And again, I'm not jealous, okay? I show you. I got the biggest prop from the biggest of them all. So I don't need to be into some podcast with a community manager from Zurich. I got the props from Matt Cutts himself. So yeah, what do you wanna do? You know, it's too late. Some people got caught up, and because it's a decision you make, a short-term decision, like Lily did. I'm becoming the EAT spokesperson. That's short-term. That's win-win for Google and for her. Let's meet in 5 years. And let's see if I was really wrong to say that EAT is a dead end. On the other hand, if you work a little bit towards what I explained earlier, that's a different conversation, a lot more fulfilling, that will bring you way beyond what is today's state of the art about SEO. Again, optimized text published on web pages to rank on Google, a search engine built in the 1990s on a computer version. Is that really the future of search? I'll let you reflect on that, my friends. Now I'm a little bit hungry. I need to go eat. So yeah, it was almost fell. I couldn't get the stream going to I got 48 views on Twitch. My God. Wow. Amazing. I got no views on 3. No. I don't know. I don't see where you see the. And thank you everyone for following. We'll get more in the groove of this live stream things, because and it seems like on Facebook also it's bugging out. I don't know what's going on. All right. On this note, take care. Thanks for watching. And until next time, don't believe the hype. Don't believe everything is said. Context matters. Look beyond. Okay? Look beyond. How did I find out all this stuff about how Google lied about being green? I had to investigate a little bit. All right. Thank you. Stop the stream. Boom.